All right. Good morning, Kim. How are you?
I'm great. How about yourself?
Doing good. Thanks for meeting with me this morning.
Of course.
I wanted to chat with you a little bit about your previous work history. So let's start off with Zorch International. Can you tell me a little bit about what that company is and then what you did there?
They were a merchandising company. They worked with Fortune 500 companies, big companies like AT&T, Citibank, Waste Management. They would provide all their promotional products for them. Started with them when it was just four of us. It was a startup company, and they quickly took off. Um, and now they're a huge company. They're all over. But I started with them as in an AP role, and then everything just kind of transitioned from there. Just kind of took over several different. I wore several different hats with that company, but they're doing very well now.
Awesome. And you were there from like 2005 to 2014. So you were there for quite
Yeah,
some time.
just shy of 10 years.
Okay. And there you were doing reconciliations, payables, receivables, and payroll as well, right?
Yes, benefits, employee benefits, insurance management, health insurance, life insurance. Did their 401k for them. Did the vendor management. I worked with the vendors, setting up new vendors, and then I would work making sure their DMB rating. A lot of people not sure don't really know what that is, but that's like a credit rating. So I would work with people to make sure that their credit rating stayed intact and it was a high rating so we can continue working with high volume suppliers and keep the orders coming.
Okay, perfect. And then just right inspection services. What do you do there on a day-to-day basis?
That is my husband's company. He is not accounting savvy by any means. So he opted to get QuickBooks years ago. And he tried to do that all on his own. I'm like, you know what? I love QuickBooks. I said I could help you with that. So I help him with his billing. I've taught him. And now he's kind of like, after this point in time, I've showed him a lot. And he's, for the most part, doing everything on his own. But every now and then he gets stuck, like journal entries, things like that. But I used to help him with his invoicing, how to create bills, payments, to get things recorded in the correct month. Just kind of helping him out. It wasn't like a big full-time job per se, but he just couldn't do any of those things on his own. But now he's pretty much solo. He's got, and every now and then he gets stuck and says, hey, can you help me with this? How do I do that?
Sure.
So I do.
Okay. And then, of course, leading us to today, what do you do in your current role now?
In my current role, it's a corporate staff accountant role, and there is a segment of accounts payable, but there's only a couple of days worth, and then the other part of the time, they have me dealing with like insurance things, the annual statement. Most people in the department have their insurance license. I don't. So there's a lot that I don't know about insurance, and I never have, and it's making it a little bit tough for me because when they're having we have our meetings, our accounting meetings, they're talking about things that are completely foreign to me, and it would take me a long time because I don't understand the insurance business. I don't understand, when we had the catastrophe with Ian and Nicole, and they're talking amongst themselves. In fact, there's another girl that I work with. She started before me, and she's having the same struggle. It's like I said, the accounting part of it with accounts payable is awesome. I can run circles around it, and I get it done pretty fast. But then I have to move on to these other segments that I'm still kind of struggling with. So that, and that was kind of brought me into trying to find something more in my wheelhouse.
Okay.
That I would love doing every day.
Okay. And one other thing I wanted to ask you real quick, when you were with Zorch, were you handling the 1099s?
Yes. We had to make sure that we got 1099s from all of our vendors or suppliers. Okay. And then at the end of the year, we would double check because we would take on new vendors and new suppliers throughout the year. So I would have to I would get a list from the controller, and he'd be like, hey, I need you to reach out get the 1099. So then we get the 1099 information, so that we could generate and run the 1099 forms. And then I used to do that, like through odd jobs over the years too. In fact, here, same thing. They were just doing the 1099s,
Okay.
getting the 1099s out this year. So yes, I'm familiar with them as well.
Okay, perfect.